Hello, this is Creto, and I'm here for part 12 of the Human Journal, and I call this journal The War of the Mind. Basically, a good portion of this clip is going to be about why people join the military, and no matter what part of the world you're from, and why people basically join terrorist groups and stuff like that. But as far as the military, I did a clip, one of my first clips that I uploaded on YouTube. I did a clip on that, on the military, and it's going to be a little bit of a recap on that. But you know, I've gotten more insight spiritually about these ideas that we hold up, and a lot of us, we basically go by the same pattern. Not everybody join a particular, let's say, not everybody join the military for the same reason, but I'm going to talk about, you know, again, all boils down to our belief systems. I'm gonna really break this stuff down into simplest forms. And yes, it's going to be, again, I'm going to talk about military, I'm going to talk about terrorists, and I'm going to I'm going to recap the basics, what I've been saying, all my Human Journal parts about how we condition our mind. And so yeah. Okay, why do people join the military? Why? Okay, why? And you know, a good number of us will join the military because of a tradition, because your family went, your father, your mother joined, or your brother joined, or your sister joined, and you want to follow the footsteps. Some of you joined because you want to get your school paid for. Some of you feel, let's say, some of you feel very patriotic. So you feel there's something like there's an obligation or some honor that you need to, some code that you need to do this. And you need to, you know, you want to protect the home front. Okay? Why people want to become a terrorist. Okay? And, you know, there's going to be very, very similarities between the both ideas. Okay? I'm going to break it down very simple. The meat of the reason why a lot of people, not just here in the U.S., but a lot of people join the military is one of the big things that stands out right in the core of this whole idea is fear. Yes, it's fear. We feel that somebody from another part of the world is going to come and invade or invade and take something from you, or your life is going to be compromised to some degree. That's why a good number of you join the military. Here in the U.S., you know, the U.S. got this model that basically you got to protect your freedom, you know, because somebody out there is going to basically take your freedom away. And other parts of the world may not have the same stigma about protecting freedom, but, you know, people basically join the military is basically to protect their home front. Again, it's fear. And this is a pattern a lot of us go by. Terrorists, you know, terrorists join, the reason why people join, want to be a member of a terrorist group is basically it all boils down to fear. You listen to an extremist leader, and extremist leader have some deep conviction why you must blow yourself up, let's say, for example, and basically to protect. And it's a cause that if you do such things, you're going to get some sort of reward. You're going to get a reward that maybe you're going to sleep with 7 virgins or marry 7 virgins after you pass on. And that's the idea. It's the choices that a lot of us make on that end. But, you know, the thing is about these ideas, you know, we think that basically, you see, I'm going to touch a little bit on more in the U.S. more too, but we believe that by having a top military Okay, you boast about having a top military. You have drones. You got, let's say, you sending soldiers out, and you think by doing that you're basically going to change something. This is a pattern a lot of people go by. A lot of people go by the same pattern. Now, before I go further, we have somebody in a position of power that we created, right? The person is going to basically suggest, okay, whether the president or a dictator is going to suggest, yes, we must go to war, we must go out to this part of the world before the enemy comes over here. And I forgot to mention that lack. Because we have an idea, we have a lack mentality, we figured that, we have to dominate a particular resource. A resource of whatever precious resources that's part of that's basically, whatever earth resources that seem to be the most valuable. We need to basically make sure that nobody takes it, or we have to basically keep guard of it, or protect it, whatever it is. Just giving a general example. And, again, there's a pattern with this. I know a great number of you know this, but I feel that, again, when you have a belief system, okay, when you have a belief system that somebody's going to take something from you, or you have to basically put yourself on a watch before the enemy comes there. Like I've been saying in all my Human Journal clips, you see, your mind, you condition your mind. It all comes down to belief systems. When you believe in a certain idea, regardless if it's some politician tell you there's a fact that there's an enemy going to come over here and strike you. You've got to strike them before they strike us. Regardless of that, when you take on a belief system, you're going to live a reality that's going to basically go by the same thing over and over. You're not going to basically go by this reality and everything's going to be great. It's going to suggest exactly how you feel. And this is what I've been saying on all of my Human Journal clips. Your thought forms. Remember I told you, your thought forms will, your mind produces thought forms, and your thought forms will create the reality. Will create the reality to serve you, will create the reality that's not going to serve you. A lot of us, I feel because a lot of us is by choice not awakened, we don't really see the deeper picture. You think because you see somebody in your multimedia network, you see somebody burning your country flag, you right away immediately, yes, we got to do something about these people. But there's a deeper message behind all this. Not about flags, it's not about what land you need to put a flagpole under, or what land you need to conquer. It's not about that. It's more about, again, the mind. It's your belief system. Like I've been saying in all of my Human Journal clips, one of the biggest things that stands out within humanity is the physical and mental. And what's the dominant is spiritual. Okay? Spiritual. And it's like, there's really, basically, there's no secret why you always realizing why there's always seems to be a conflict around the world. You know what I mean? Why we have this terrorist group seems to be spreading around. And that's the thing. You see, just as you fall under the idea that you have to basically put on your helmet and your uniform, you have to go out, right, and blast your enemy to smithereens, whatever. You see, the terrorist group has the same agenda, same goal in a similar way as someone to join the military. You see, somebody that goes out in these meetings and listens to some terrorist leader, okay, you see, that terrorist leader is afraid too, okay? So basically it's going to spread some conviction ideas to some people that basically decide to listen and take on this person's idea. Because the person has a victim mentality, the people that listen to, and the terrorist leader, okay, they all have victim mentality. Again, your basically your mind is going to suggest that, yes, you must go through this mission and you must blow yourself up. Okay? You must do something because the infidel is going to take over. It's going to take something from you and your family. So people that create these terrorist acts, you see, they feel that if they have to go about it, they have to go about things in an extreme way in order to think that they're making change, but they're not. No terrorist group ever. You see, the thing is, a terrorist group, they think they're really changing something, but they're not. They think by the more fear you spread, you're going to really get your message across. The only message you're going to get across, basically, is that you're going to constantly live through the same reality over and over. You see, the people, regardless of how extremist or twisted their personalities is, because, you see, those people are consciousness just like you are conscious. The people that put on the helmet and uniform and go on these tanks and whatever, press a button and just drop bombs and everything. You see, just like you are consciousness too. Just like the person in that position of power that we created. You see, that person's consciousness too. Okay? We create these things. We create these structures out of fear. We think that basically we need to dominate one land to the other land. Or we need to spread fear. Or you feel that you need to show force. So yeah, the people in the terrorist organization is not really sparking any real change for their cause. They just basically realigning themselves in the same reality. So when you go, so for those that put on the traditional way of going to battle, okay, the convention, let's just say the conventional warfare, okay, you see, let's just say you might hold your so-called enemy down for a moment, but then you always realize there's going to be another enemy. So another thing I realized here in the U.S., I learned a great deal how the government in the U.S., for example, is. And it's all boiled down to our belief systems. You know, it's not so much on the people behind office. See, the people behind office, even though the idea of itself, government is an ego structure, it's very egotistic, but you see, everything's based on fear and control. But it all boils down to your belief systems, everybody. Okay? So the government, especially here in the U.S., for example, is going to mirror how you feel. I don't care if it's a Democratic or Republican. It doesn't matter. The same thing like most government systems do other parts of the world. Okay? It's going to mirror how you feel. So the one that's ultimately power is you. You think someone's position of power, or you think somebody's in office thinks that they're really in power. They're not really in power. They just only mirroring because of your belief system. But you see, the belief system doesn't really define who you are. Okay? Everything, whatever decisions you make or whatever your mind throws at you, is a suggested idea. The mind is just another level of consciousness. It's not a villain. It's not some Satan character. Okay? It's just another level of consciousness. You all heard this before. The subconscious and the conscious mind. Okay? Now, I don't want to confuse anybody. Okay? You see, consciousness overall is the ultimate power. Okay? The mind, even though it is consciousness, it's just a different level of consciousness. Okay? That's it. But, you know, because you're all consciousness and you're all spiritual beings now, you ultimately have the power to control your mind, to recondition your mind, okay? I don't care where you're from. So, just to go back what I was saying about the U.S. government, for example, and I look at everybody's belief systems. You see, you feel that by doing certain things, I realized that I realized growing up, I've seen these different wars, okay? Russia, and then you got Saudi Arabia, the Gulf War and all that. You know, before the Gulf War, you got the Cold War with Russia, whatever, It's like it seems to be, and then you got other wars, Panama, you got other different stupid, dumb wars, but it always seems to be one war after another war, one war after another war. Back then, I said to myself, man, why does it seem to be a never-ending cycle? It's a belief system. That's all it boils down to. It's a belief system, okay? And I fell under that. I thought that, that's just how things are. It's like, oh, well, it's always going to be an enemy. But because of my thought form, you see, my thought form created my reality. My mind produces a thought form, and then I created a reality. So I'm going to create a reality that, yeah, it's always going to be that way. That's just how life is. The world is screwed. The world is really it's like a crap hole, this world. It's like there's no hope, right? That's the feeling like a good number of us feel, okay? But the thing is like this, it's like everything in life is changeable, okay? Everything runs by patterns in life. Everything. Your mind is going again, so because you feel a certain way about yourself. When you live life of fear, yes, you're going to align yourself with ideas, for example, like government. Government is going to suggest to you that there's always going to be an enemy. Someone's going to come out and take your freedom away. And that's the thing. A lot of people in the United States have been falling for this game for a very long time. And, yeah. And the thing is, it's like this. You see, the media, it mirrors you. I made a clip on the media. Okay. It's like we created the media, and it's going to basically, you see, the media is going to basically work alongside with the politicians. Okay. Even though sometimes the media doesn't really be on the same page with the politician, but still in all, the media that we did create served as an engine to keep this reality of, let's say, for example, fear for those that keep their face glued to the TV. I know I'm saying something very similar to my other clips, but I want to tie everything together in all fronts, okay? There's no coincidence, there's no separation why this is happening here and then this is happening over here. There's really no separation, okay? I'm going to break it down very simple, okay? And I am breaking it down, but I just want to really get anyone that's listening to this to really take it in, not think with your head, but take it in, take it in within your heart and really go deep within yourself. So anyway, so that's just really it. That's everything works by a formula, okay? And, it's like, for example, people here in the U.S., they feel a certain way about people, for example, in Afghanistan or Iran, whatever, just picking some places, okay? You are feeling a certain way about people in certain parts of the world because, one, okay, the news is an idea. It's going to suggest for you to take on a story, okay? So you look at the story, okay, what the news say, and then you start to feel a certain way, okay? You're going to feel, then you're going to take on with the idea, what it suggests. The idea is going to suggest that, yes, people in certain parts of the world are dangerous. These are dangerous people now, okay? All that. I want to say this. Feelings above facts, okay? How you feel, ultimately, how you feel is basically goes over facts. Doesn't matter what the data, your government tells you, the facts and all that. It's basically what boils down is how you feel. How you feel, what keeps that reality going. You understand, everyone? So you feel a certain way about certain people in other parts of the world. Okay, from what your politician tells you, whatever your government, your media here in the Western culture. But the thing is, I realize that people in other parts of the world, you see, they're going through the same thing that you're going through. They're basically going to look at their media, they're going to listen to what their government say, their communist government, whatever, and they're going to feel a certain way about people here, for example, in the Western culture. So, you understand? all of us, a good number of you, fall into this stuff over and over. It's a pattern. You just like somebody. It's like people create belief systems on people on other parts of the world based on TV, based on that TV shows, the news, politics, religion, right? So we got this story about everybody around the world. Like, for example, I saw something on YouTube, right? Somebody interviewed, for example, my close friend of mine, she showed me this clip. This clip was taking place in Europe. And somebody, I don't know, they was interviewing people from other parts of the world. And the theme of that clip was, how do you, what's your thoughts on Americans? And I was listening to this, and I find it fascinating. So many ideas that other people from other parts of the world feel about America. Okay? And that is what? One, either they meet somebody, maybe through, and these a good number of people have never been to the U.S. or maybe visit the U.S. or maybe have friends that's from the U.S. and they just gave like some idea. But, a good number of other parts of the world's reaction was people in America are obnoxious, loud, other stuff. A good number of stuff that people say is that they get what they watch on TV. Okay? That, politics, the news, the media from other parts of the world. So, you see, I want to use that example because, you see, just like how other parts of the world feel about America, a lot of people here in the U.S., I'm not saying everybody, and the same thing for everybody in other parts, where not everyone thinks this, but it's just giving examples here. You see, a good number of people in the U.S. is going to feel or have some sort of belief system on somebody from other parts of the world, like Japan, the Middle East, North Korea, Russia, China, all the stuff, right? And you have to pay attention to these belief systems that you create, everybody, not just here in the U.S., but everybody, because you see these belief systems. You see, your mind is going to constantly feed you. See, each and every one of you slide into a reality every single time. A lot of you slide into the same reality every day, every moment by moment. Every moment by moment. Everything starts from the mind. Yes, everything is physical, okay? But I'm going to focus more on the mind in this journal, okay? But ultimately, the ultimate dominance is spiritual, okay? The thing is, we're dealing with humanity, a good number of people, is that everything, we allow the mind to control us on how we feel about each other. I mean, shucks, it doesn't have to be from overseas. It could be how you feel about someone in your community or your job. I mean, shucks, I have my own moments too now about other people, But I have to really take full control and create the reality what I prefer, the best I can. So to go back with the topic of this clip, okay, that all it takes, okay, now, all it takes is basically recondition your mind about what reality you prefer, okay, really deep down inside. You see, you don't have to basically, see, for those that need to go and join the military, you don't have to join the military, okay, and wave a flagpole and basically do all that. You don't have to, okay? There's other ways to go about creating a joyous world. There is, okay, because, the truth is, by you joining the military, you're reaffirming the same reality, okay? And don't say that, oh, that's just reality. No, that's the reality that you create. You have to get this straight, everyone. You are in full command creating that reality. You create a different reality at any moment. For the people that also try to create terror, okay, you're going to always constantly deal with infidels that you describe every moment. You don't like people in the Western culture, like, for example, like America, You're saying to yourself, we got to do something about these people or their government and whatever. It's going to constantly continue over and over and over. You see, everybody? You see, when it all falls down to a belief system, when you hold tight on that belief system, your reality is going to be the same. That's it. There's no coincidence. There's no anything outside of you that's just basically holding the power. No. Everything goes back down to you. Doesn't matter where you're from. It doesn't matter. So how you feel, see, the thing is, how you feel about other people from overseas, here in the U.S., people in the U.S. feel about certain people from other countries, the people from the other part of the world feel the same way how you feel. Because on both sides of the world, for example, both sides, it's following the same similar pattern. That's it. All you have to do is basically change, recondition your mind. These ideas of government and military and all this stuff, it doesn't really have any significant power. Like I said, for those around the world, not just here in the U.S., you don't have to basically join the military. You don't. Nobody can take anything from you. I mean, you're spiritual beings. You're consciousness. I mean, life is much more valuable than possessions. And I'm not saying for people to not have possessions, but I'm just want to get everyone to see things in a much bigger picture. You're afraid that somebody's going to take something from you. No one really can take anything from you, really. You got to really think, and not just with your head, but take it in your heart. Seriously. Doesn't matter where you're from. Okay? Once you decide to change your belief systems, okay, everything else will change. You know, there's a lot of people been having this peace campaign for a while, and that's cool. And I look at that, you know, my take on this is that, you know, you don't have to have a peace campaign or a peace treaty or some sort of process. No, you could basically change or create a peaceful world right now. Starts from you, and then it basically reflects, or let's just put it this way, it manifests outside. That's it. There's no peace treaty required, no negotiation, no compromise, none of that. And that's the thing. A lot of you feel like you have to compromise yourself because you know why you feel that way? It's because you're basically following what your head tells you. Nobody doesn't have to compromise nothing. And thing is, a good number of us have this lack mentality. You think there's not enough resources, so you feel like one part of the world is going to take over this other part of the resources, right? And then again, because of the belief systems that you have, your government is going to mirror, okay, it's going to mirror how you feel. So the government is actually playing a role how you feel. Because when you have a lack mentality and when you start to be afraid, yes, that dictator or your president here in the United States is going to mirror that. And that's why the government is going to play this role. It's going to play this rules and regulations and all this other stuff to try to take over. The government's going to try to create more military weapons and drones and all that stuff. Trying to have more of these drones, camera. You have one government agency try to spy on other parts of the world and spying on people within the U.S., for example. All those things, right? All those things. You see, these are ideas. Even though people work in those ideas, because you see, the thing is, it all falls down to how you feel. So when you start to have this fear within yourself and about life and your outlook on life, again, it all falls down to your mind, okay? These ideas will mirror how you feel. That's it. Same goes for China, okay? China, let's say China's been accused, for example, spying here in the U.S., whatever, okay? Whatever they do, it's the same exact thing how here in the U.S., doesn't matter where, it could be Iran, it could be any other parts of the world, it could be Russia, it doesn't matter, okay? There's a pattern. There's a very similar pattern to any parts of the world. And that's how I'm able to break things down, everybody. patterns. That's it. Because once I understood that everything runs through patterns, and I understand who I am, I understand fully that I have the ability to create new patterns. I can create new patterns at any moment. I can't do that. The same goes for everybody. So again, you know, you don't have to join the military, nor you don't have to join a terrorist group. You don't have to listen to a politician that tells you, yes, there's an enemy out there. You don't have to listen to what the media suggests. You don't. I mean, it's going to suggest, but you see, the one that has the ultimate control through and through, overall, is you. That's it. It's you. You are in control. There's enough, I'm going to say this, there's enough resources in this world that could feed this world 10 times over. But you see, you have to recondition your mind that basically not have this lack mentality, or someone's going to take over. Again, got to repeat this for a reason, okay? When you feel a certain way, okay, like an idea that someone's going to take something from you, I'm going to tell you blunt truth, everybody, and I've been saying this, but I'm going to say this straight up and give it to you like this. You're not going to have a peaceful world. In your reality, you're not going to have a peaceful world. You're not. You're going to constantly live in a chaotic world. But it's a choice you make. But you see, the thing about life is that you could get out anytime. It's not too late. All I'm telling you is that when you hold on to certain belief systems, I don't care what your government tells you. I don't care what your media tells you. I don't care what your family or friends tell you. When you hold on to a certain belief system, your reality is going to repeat itself. But again, you want to change your reality, it all starts from you. You got to know that you are power. You got to feel it. And that's why I've told you this early in this clip. Feelings above facts. You have to feel a certain way. You want to enjoy, you want to live a blissful life, and you want a blissful world, you have to feel it. You have to feel that. I mean, you don't have to. You can do whatever you want now. But I'm just telling you. Okay? And this is a very simple way of going about it. This is no hard to, how we could do this is difficult. No, it's not difficult. Your head is going to suggest it's difficult because you condition your mind for so long to feel like, oh, it'll never change. No. It's because you believe that. You believe that. I don't care what your politician tells you. I don't care what your family tells you. You take on this idea. The same thing that people from the other parts of the world, they feel the same way like you feel. Don't be quick to look down on other people because they're burning a flag or they're doing that. Because, see, they're falling under the same pattern as you are here in the U.S. The thing I realized, like, it's like I see, like, growing up, I always feel like, I think the propaganda that I grew up here is that I used to feel like the U.S. Army and the military is like the good guys and all that stuff. I guess maybe because of, I don't know, watching G.I. Joe and all that. But the stuff that I grew up, just the propaganda that the U.S. military is like the good guys. But then, you know, and I'm not trying to villainize people that join the military. It's just join the military is an idea, like I've been saying. But I wanted to say this. You see, the U.S. military is no different than the military in China. You see, I could say this. I could call, you know, you could call me a renegade or whatever. I'm not loyal to a country. I care less about citizens of a country. I don't give a damn, really. In my heart, I don't care. Whether if I might have a social security card or birth certificate, I don't give a damn. All I'm telling you is this, that the United States military is no different than the military in China. Really, there's none. It's no different than the Iranian military. North Korea, Russia, no difference. There's no difference at all. Canadian soldiers, whatever, no different. The thing is that when you take on, and again, everybody, I'm driving this on you, for those that's listening to what I have to say, when you take on a particular belief system, you will continue to live that reality. And that's again, I'm sorry, I kind of lost track a little bit. That I'm able to realize that it's like there is no good guys when it comes to the military. It's like, again, I'm not trying to say that people that join the military is evil. No. I'm just saying that this is that it's like the ideas are the same. The Chinese military is the same as the military in the U.S. It's just that a lot of us, we get so patriotic here in the U.S., you think that you're the good guys and stuff, and you think you're at the top of the world. I'm like, and all that's an ego thing. It is. I'm like, and then I realize, I see this clearly more and more. It's like, people think that by doing certain things, by showing force, they think that you're creating some changes. And I'm realizing more and more that you're not creating changes. You could have 15 aircraft carriers out in sea. Are you really creating changes? No, you're not. Because you see how the ego mind works is this. You see, the U.S. like to pump his chest with his military so much. But then you see, here's the thing. Other countries going to pump his chest too. And they're going to say, oh yeah, I'm going to show you what I got. And then what do you got? Stalemate and chess. Are you gaining anything? Think about it. You got to step outside your head, everybody. You got to really go deep as far as you can. You got your chest pumped up and all that. Are you at peace? Are you creating a blissful life? Really? Are you? You're not. You're just going to stay in the same reality. You're going to stay in the same war zone for the rest of your life. But, you see, it doesn't have to be that way. Because, you see, you could be hardcore in this gun-hole being a military, and so into the military and all this stuff, right? Doesn't matter where you're from. You could change, you could recondition your mind like that. Boom. Right now, at this very second, and everything just basically change. And I just want to inspire everybody. Everything boils down to the mind. Everything. I mean, shucks, if you even go further within the military, it's like everything's mental. It's fear. If one person is not making a move, let's say you have a Navy fleet. Again, you have aircraft carriers, whatever. In one country, I represent one country, and you have a Navy fleet from another country. It's all about, if they make the first move, you must strike. If they're standing there, something's going on. It's like, and I've seen this over the years now, everyone. I'm like, wow, it's just literally built on fear. I didn't go deeper as I did years ago. No, I didn't. But no, I do. It's like, it's all fear. It is. And the people in the military, you see, they manifesting more of the same situation. Again, you think that you're really creating changes, but you're not. You're not creating a peaceful world. The same thing like the people in the terrorist group. You see, they're manifesting the same thing. And they're wondering why they like this chaos. They're wondering why they keep dealing with these infidels all the time, right? Because they constantly manifest the same thing over and over and over and over. And that's it. That's the way it works. It's the same thing like anything in life. If you hold on to an idea of being blissful, acknowledging that you are bliss, and you create a blissful world, you're going to create the same reality of having a blissful world over and over and over and over and over. That's it. It's going to keep going. It's the same thing that goes on the opposite. That's the way life works, everyone. You could consistently have the same blissful life. I mean, things do change, but if you want to maintain to have a blissful life, you could have it. It could be done. Doesn't take a politician to do this. This takes everybody's part to do this. And you can do it right now, at this very moment. And this is one thing I learned about life, about myself, on a personal basis. I'm in full control of my life. I know who I am. The same thing I want to inspire everybody to basically rediscover the power within you, and that how you could basically channel the life that you want on a personal basis. And then from there, you can widespread from all around the world. And again, you got like 7.5 billion people and counting. You understand the power right there. All those people, all of you are consciousness, every one of you. And that all you have to do is reshape your mind. All you have to do is let go of old ideas. Old traditional ideas that you must do certain things that deep down inside in your spirit, you don't want to do it. But I understand that everything in life is an experience. So if you want to be a terrorist, that's an experience. If you want to be a soldier, that's an experience. You are all free to do that. Okay? You are all free to do that. All I'm just here, I'm a being within consciousness. All I'm saying is that you could get out at any time. You could change your reality at any moment. So you don't have to live a certain way. You don't have to live a life in drama. You don't have to. It doesn't matter it doesn't matter who's right, who's wrong. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter about these stupid traditions that we hold up. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter your skin color. It doesn't matter. All I'm saying to you, everyone, is that your consciousness. Okay? No person is better than the other person, or above or below. Okay? Like it or not, you are all consciousness. Okay? I'm doing my best to reach out to the world, and I'm going to just tell everyone that you are all consciousness. Okay? I'm passing my vibe out in all languages, even though I'm speaking English in my mouth, but I'm just passing good vibes to everybody across the world, because I mean, it's like I can see past these ideas that we create, military, politics, the media, and how we shape it to be and all that stuff. The media can be reshaped into something different, something inspiring. You don't have to glue your face and watching the chaos in the news every single day. You don't have to watch this stuff. You don't. It's a choice that you make. I made a choice not to watch the news. Sometimes I once in a blue moon, I glance at something, but there's no comparison to before. I even watch the weather. That's all. That's basically it. I watch the weather, and that's basically it, really. I mean, if I glance on the news, I glance, but it's not going to have any hold on me. I live, you see, the thing is, everyone, I'm living my own world. I make my world. Okay? I do my best to be or maintain that I am bliss. So I'm just passing this on to everyone. I'm just inspiring you that you can live a blissful life because you are bliss. Okay? Okay, that's it. I'm only inspiring everyone to live a blissful life. That's it. But again, we all have a choice what we want to do in our life. We have a choice to live in chaos, and we have a choice to live blissful. It's up to you, everyone. And that's all. That's it. That's the theme of this whole journal, this part 12. So I believe I said a lot. Take it in, what I'm saying, from your heart, not just your head. Okay? And remember, feelings above facts. Everything is based how you feel inside. And when you feel inside, it basically manifests the reality. Okay? Feelings above facts. So take this in, what I'm saying, everyone. All right. I'm glad I did this journal, this part 12. I will be back for part 13. Take care.